Welcome to another edition of The Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today because we're looking at a topic that I guarantee is going to completely change how you view a certain part of the world. Now, when you hear the word Sweden, you probably have a very specific set of images that immediately pop into your head. Maybe you picture that gorgeous classic scene, someone in a beautiful, colorful, traditional folk dress standing under the brilliant green northern lights in the winter countryside. Or maybe you immediately picture flat-pack furniture from IKEA, the incredibly catchy tunes of ABBA, and of course, really long, dark, freezing winters. And while all of those things are for sure part of the country's fabric, we're about to explore a reality that will truly surprise you, because this is a place that is quietly shaping the globe in ways most of us literally never even realize.
So, IKEA, ABBA, snow. Let's acknowledge them, appreciate them, and now, I actually want you to just forget all of them for a second. We're going to take a sharp pivot away from those common stereotypes. Instead, we want to hook you on the hidden, highly eccentric, and frankly, astonishing truths of this Nordic nation. We're talking about mind-bending engineering, extreme survival, and a cultural impact that completely defies logic.
Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Beyond IKEA and ABBA. 2. Epic engineering and science. 3. Surviving the extreme north. And 4. A quiet global superpower.
Okay, let's dive into this with Chapter 1, Beyond IKEA and ABBA, Redefining Swedish Culture.
So, we're shifting our focus to the shocking realities of everyday Swedish life. And this first fact fundamentally changes how transactions happen every single day. Just look at this number, 1%. Sweden is almost entirely functionally cashless. It's actually one of the most cashless societies on the face of the earth. Only about 1% of its entire economy circulates as physical money. If you walk into most shops in Sweden today with a pocket full of cash, well, they'll outright refuse it. No way. Want to buy a quick coffee or a hot dog on the street with a few coins? Yeah, good luck with that. They only accept digital payments. It's this highly streamlined, futuristic approach to daily commerce that most of the world is really still only just moving toward.
But here's the playful contradiction. While they run this lightning-fast, futuristic digital economy, Swedes are fiercely, and I mean fiercely, dedicated to slowing down for this, fika. It's a noun, it's a verb, honestly, it's a sacred ritual. Fika is the daily, absolute essential Swedish practice of pausing everything, literally everything you're doing, to drink coffee and genuinely connect with others. It's considered totally crucial to Swedish culture and workplace life. It's not just grabbing a quick caffeine fix at your desk to keep grinding. In fact, this dedication makes Sweden a top 3 global coffee consumer per capita. So they run fast, but they rigorously defend their time to stop, sip, and connect.
Moving right along to Section 2, Epic Engineering and Science, Feats of the North.
Now that we understand the culture a little bit better, let's look at what that culture actually produces. We're going to explore some mind-bending physical feats and scientific breakthroughs that were born right in Sweden. I really want you to imagine the sheer audacity of this next project. Way up in the north of Sweden sits the city of Kiruna. For years, they've been mining iron ore deep beneath the city. Well, step 2. They suddenly realize these massive mining operations are causing the ground to destabilize. The entire city is literally slowly sinking into the earth. So what's Sweden's solution? Do they just abandon it? Nope. Step 3, they decided to move the entire city, building by building, brick by brick, relocating a whole urban center like a giant puzzle to a brand new location a few kilometers away. It is an engineering undertaking of staggering proportions, all just to save their northern hub.
And this brilliantly illustrates the Swedish flair for massive, nationwide projects. Take the Ericsson Globe in Stockholm. It's the world's largest hemispherical building. But it doesn't just sit there looking pretty, it actually serves as the sun in a scale model of the solar system. So you might be wondering, where are the planets? Well, they're scaled out across the entire country of Sweden. The whole nation acts as a giant, interactive map of our solar system. It's an absolutely brilliant blend of architecture, education, and geography.
But hey, Swedish engineering isn't just about giant globes and picking out moving cities, it is intensely personal and life-saving. Back in 1958, a collaboration between Swedish engineers and doctors resulted in the invention of the world's first internal pacemaker. Just think about the sheer global impact of that timeline for a second. From a medical breakthrough in Sweden in the late 50s to today, where that single device concept has saved millions upon millions of lives globally. It's a real game changer.
All right, let's jump to Chapter 3, Surviving the Extreme North, Embracing the Elements.
To really understand how they achieve these feats, you have to understand absolute extremes. You see, the people coming up with these incredible scientific and engineering feats are doing so in an environment that is incredibly harsh. But the fascinating thing is that Swedes don't just survive their extreme environment, they actively embrace it. We aren't talking about a gloomy afternoon where it rains a bit. We're talking about the polar night, where the sun literally does not rise above the horizon for weeks on end during the winter. It is total, unrelenting darkness. And then, flip that around for the summer, the midnight sun. The sun does not set for weeks. Endless daylight. This wild, extreme swing between total darkness and perpetual light is just a completely normal part of their daily life and natural rhythm.
And honestly, nothing captures their embrace of this freezing environment quite like the famous ice hotel in northern Sweden. Look at this quote, "Demolished every spring and rebuilt from scratch every winter." It's this beautiful, freezing irony. Every single winter, they harvest ice from a local river and construct a massive, breathtaking hotel with a completely new design. People come from all over the world just to sleep on beds made entirely of ice. And then, when spring arrives, they just let the entire masterpiece melt right back into the river, only to start the whole shebang all over again next year.
Let's head into our final section, Chapter 4, A Quiet Global Superpower, Punching Above Their Weight. So this is where we really pull the curtain back. We're going to reveal how this tiny freezing nation secretly runs massive parts of modern global culture and commerce without most of us ever even realizing it. There is a massive, highly disproportionate Swedish impact on what you listen to every single day. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is when we look at global music exports. Number 1 is the US, number 2 is the UK, number 3 is Sweden. Sweden exports more music globally than almost any other country on Earth. They secretly produce the artists and, crucially, the behind-the-scenes songwriters and producers responsible for some of the biggest pop hits in modern history. From ABBA to the architects of today's mainstream radio, the Swedish pop music machine is an absolute global juggernaut.
But their exports aren't just pop songs on the radio. They also export revolutionary ideas about human rights and governance. Take the word ombudsman. It's actually a Swedish invention. It refers to a government official whose sole job is to investigate citizen complaints against the state. It's a mechanism built entirely to protect the individual from the bureaucracy. This concept of protecting citizen rights was so effective, the idea spread like wildfire and is now used in dozens of countries all over the world today.
And then, wow, we get to the brands. Just look at this rapid-fire list. Spotify, H&M, Volvo, IKEA, Klarna. You likely use or interact with at least one of these companies every single week, if not every single day. The music you stream, the clothes you wear, the car you drive, the furniture you sit on, how you pay for things online. All of these massive, industry-dominating global brands were born right in Sweden. Their technological and business dominance is truly astounding.
So, the crucial point is, here is the mind-boggling number to remember. 10 million. That is the total population of Sweden. 10 million people. To put that into perspective, that is smaller than the population of many single major cities around the world. Yet, from this relatively tiny pool of people comes an entirely cashless society, world-changing medical inventions, global pop music dominance, and some of the largest tech and retail brands on the planet.
Which leads us with this final provocative thought to ponder today. How much of your modern world is secretly shaped by this small, freezing country? From the pacemaker in a loved one's chest, to the Spotify playlist in your ears, to the very concept of an ombudsman protecting your rights. You know, for a country this small and this cold, Sweden has shaped the modern world in ways most of us literally never stop to notice. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope you walk away looking at the world just a little bit differently today. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.